Is there a gap between your performance in practice and actually being able to execute in a game? Dan Hunt here. I'm a performance coach and I help individuals win by being their best when it matters the most. We dig in and we help them unlock the actual focus and mindset that they need to have in order to be at their best, but also how that connects to their body and being able to set and prime themselves to be able to unlock and unleash. I think that there's more likely than not many of us that are able to practice at one level or able to experience and skill and things like that in practice, but struggle to translate it to the field. I know that many of us out there have this gap and we're constantly trying to find a way to close that. And here's the thing that I want to highlight one right off the bat is that a lot of times it's not skill. It's actually not that you don't have the skill, it's that you don't have the capacity. What do I mean by that? All right, capacity meaning you don't have the bandwidth or the strength or even what people call resilience or grit to be able to withstand and execute the skill that you do have within that environment in the competitive arena. You're not able to do that. And the reason why is because right now I want you to grab a hold of this, is that so many of us just sit back and we rely on motivation and feelings to help us perform. We lean into this like, hey man, like if I feel like it. Or even in practices we go, man, I just don't feel like it today. Some days we feel like it, we show up, we execute, but other days we just, I just don't know. I'm not feeling it today. And then when we get into the actual arena, the competitive arena, 9 times out of 10, when it's on the line, right? When you need to rise to the occasion, when it's go time, you don't always feel like it. Those feelings that you have, the things that are going on within your body, the thoughts that are racing through your mind, like they're not always good. And if you haven't trained yourself in practice to navigate those things under that type of pressure, then you're not able to do it on the field. It's the old adage like practice how you play. And there's so many pieces that dive into this. And that's another video we can dive in later, but here's what I want you to do today. This is gonna help you actually translate and close that gap. The first thing is that when you walk into practice, I want you to focus in and identify and have an intention for what you're trying to get out of that practice. What is the skill you're trying to develop? What are the situations that you struggle in? And I want you to purposefully put yourself in there with your mind. So if you're running through some tactical drills, right? That I want you to think through and put yourself in the scenario that you continuously struggle in. If it's pitching and you're on the mound, like when you're practicing pitching, I don't want you just to throw pitches. I want you to put yourself in that variable tactical situation of we got 2 outs, but you just thrown 3 balls. How are you gonna dig yourself out of that? Don't wait for the situation to happen in the game. I want you to mentally put yourself there and practice how to get through that. But here's the thing is that it's very difficult to mimic those same things in those same environment, in a competitive sense that you get in practice. Like it's very hard to say, hey, let's mimic those and create those in practice, okay? But here's another solution that I have, all right? Here's another strategy that you can run, a play that you can pull out of the playbook. And this is gonna sound crazy, but I'm telling you that if you actually are disciplined to this, this will help you both execute when it matters the most, but also manage and gain strength over some of your stress responses. I want you the next time you're in a shower, at the end of the shower, turn that shower all the way to as cold as possible. And I want you to stay in that for 2 minutes. And I want you to let the shower, the cold water hit your neck, and I want you to breathe through it. And once you get yourself to that calming place, all right, because you will over time, in a matter of days, you'll see yourself be able to adapt and adjust and be able to not worry and have this response to the water, but to be able to go, and then I want you to put yourself in that same situation. I want you to put yourself in that situation that you continuously struggle in when it's competitive. And when you allow, like, you let your mind to go to these places that you shouldn't. And I want you to put yourself visually, mentally, rehearse that situation. You're in that situation. And I want you to walk through where your focus is gonna be. Like what you're gonna execute on. What are the actions you're gonna take? What are the things you're going to do? And then I want you to put yourself and mentally rehearse you succeeding in achieving the thing that you want to achieve. Because when you train yourself, when you dig into that and you purposefully give yourself an intention to train yourself, that's how you prepare yourself to be in the moment and to be at your best when it matters the most. It doesn't happen by chance. By visualizing, by locking in, by giving yourself an intention going into those practices, by putting yourself in that, mentally putting yourself in that situation and go, all right, here's the situation. This is what I'm gonna do. Deep breath. Now execute. And by getting into that cold shower and experiencing that visceral like lock up, right? And then to be able to breathe and manage and be able to strengthen that response to then shift your focus to the things that you need to focus on to be at your best. When you do that over and over and over again, you create a neural pathway. You create a pattern. You create a habit. And over time, you become that person. And so if you're trying to close that gap, I want you to execute on those two things. I want you this next week to go out and do those things. And what I want to hear at the end of the week is leave a comment below of what's changed. What hasn't changed? Did it work? And if it didn't, let's connect and see how we can keep unlocking and shifting and trying different things that can help you be at your best when it matters the most. Because there's greatness within you. We just got to keep figuring out how to bring it out. Like, subscribe, share, pass this along. I know that you aren't the only one struggling with this. I know you have teammates that do as well. And if you believe this is going to be beneficial to them and yourself, keep spreading the word. And we're going to keep pumping content out like this. Thanks. Greatness is within.